grab a drink and have a seat. It's time for Drafty After Dark. With your hosts, Russell James and the Howling Wolf.
All right, settle down. Thank you. Welcome back to Drafty After.
You said calm the fuck down.
Is that
what the fuck?
Is that fucking Steve?
Why the fuck did you get back in the building?
Here,
yeah,
Steve.
what the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing?
How the fuck
fuck
did you get
You're
here?
running
What
the
the
show.
fuck,
You're
dude?
running the
Where
episode,
the fuck
Steve.
are you doing?
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Wait, is that Steve?
Is it?
I think it's Paul. That's Paul.
Oh.
Get the fuck out of here, Paul.
Yeah,
what are you doing,
what
Paul?
the fuck are you doing here?
Fuck off.
What?
We kicked you out. Get
Yeah,
out.
what-
Get out.
what
You're
the-
running
what the fuck-
You're running the
What
whole
the fuck are you
episode, Paul.
doing, man? Yeah, Paul. What the fuck?
No, that's not Paul.
That's not Paul.
No, it's Steve.
God damn it! He did it to me again! Motherfuckers!
Shane, get Steve out of here. Get
Shane,
him
where
the fuck out
are
of
you?
here.
Shane, don't look at me. I'm not the one fucking leaving. You gotta get this guy the fuck out of here. Yeah, Shane. Get this guy the fuck out of here.
Hey, before you go. Hey, Steve. Fuck you.
Yeah.
All right, this week on Drafty After Dark. Last week, actually. Last week on Drafty After Dark. Yeah, we have something that we want to print a retraction. Sort of. It's not really a retraction. It's more like...
It's not really print if you think about it.
Well, that's the joke. All right, so last week Barry was not with us, and he has far more information about the Cybertruck, and was a little upset that we left so much out when clearly it is information that you need, because Elon Musk is building American citizens into our own private army. So, Barry, why don't you fill us in? Tell us some stuff.
I was mostly upset about your math.
Oh, yeah. So we were supposed to say 25 million?
Yeah, when you times by 100, you had 2 zeros.
Yep, 2 zeros. Add 2 zeros. You know what? I'm going to blame fucking Steve. Steve was a distraction all episode last week.
Look, I don't fucking go to Steve's podcast and sit in on Steve's shit and heckle the fuck out of Steve.
Yeah, fuck you, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
All right, so what do you got for us?
You missed some stuff.
Looks like it.
For those of you who don't know, I just watched him roll out a big long sheet that went all the way in 3 blocks down.
It's on the back of a CVS receipt.
And you know how long those things are going to be. Because I see coupon, savings, coupon, special deal.
Cybertruck fact.
Where do you want me to start?
We talked about how many pre-orders there were, and like there's some glass.
And then
that's
Russell
super
fucked
awesome.
the math up.
Yeah, I fucked the math up.
Oh, the glass broke in the demo, but they were doing the same test throughout the day to make sure it was going to work.
Okay.
And then when they did it on stage, it didn't work. There's videos of it actually working. Somebody said it was because the sledgehammer test first did something to weaken the glass. But
Yeah.
I feel like it was just already
news.
weakened from having that ball thrown at it over and over.
That's fucking fake news. I think the whole thing's a fucking hoax. But what's interesting, all right, while we're talking about this and we're talking about the durability of it, they used to test old cars by rolling them down a hill.
Yeah, I think you talked about that.
Okay. Do you see us going back to that, to where they make the outside more durable than the inside? Or do you think that it's going to have the same type of compaction that modern cars have now, but with the durability? Because that seemed like it'd be a double-edged sword. It seemed like you'd have to pick one way or the other.
Yeah, I don't know. The reason I found out about Tesla is because I was trying to find like what's the safest car you can get, and a Tesla is it. They broke the press thing that does the crust test. The flip test they had to modify because you couldn't flip the Tesla on the track that they use for flipping cars.
That's
I
pretty
wonder
intense.
what that says about the wheel tax on it.
I don't know.
Because the fucking roads are are asphalt fucking roads that are already filled with potholes going to be able to handle this fucking tank? Let alone 3 tanks?
Sounds like a problem for your
10?
local government.
No, it sounds like a problem for your local wallet's what it is.
Well, I mean, if we go to those new roads that they've been working on too, like, I mean, that's something that we should do.
I don't think we need roads with this fucking thing. Just be like, fuck it.
We don't need roads where we're
Fuck your
going.
roads. We'll dig up the asphalt, the brick, and the fucking septic tank.
Well, they are making a big deal about their 16-inch clearance. The next highest that you can get factory is 11.2. I don't remember what that's on. But yeah, with that kind of clearance, you don't really need roads, I guess.
Yeah.
It's too early to really talk about the safety because they haven't done any of the tests or released any of that information that I know of.
Like something Russell talked about last week is, when either the pre-orders or X, Y, or Z. I'm looking at, you walk on a fucking car lot. You're like Peter Griffin. You walk on there and they're like, hey, and when he goes to buy mega car, he's like, and the car salesman's like, hey, check out this sedan. He's like, whoa, what can you tell me about this tank? It's like, well, I use it to declare war on high prices, just for the commercial. Whoa. But back to the sedan, you can't throw a tank at me and expect me to not buy it. That's essentially what's going to happen with this.
Yeah, I mean, with all the pre-orders, there's going to be a lot of these on the road. I don't know about inside. Like, if you hit a wall, which would be hard with all the like sensors and cameras and stuff that make the truck not want to do that.
I think we need to get rid of seatbelts in this fucking thing.
You're gonna get thrown around a lot, probably.
I know, that's half the fun.
They do have the front trunk, which is a big part of what makes Teslas safer because they're supposed to have that crumple zone, but like they can't manufacture this material like normal car body material. It just breaks the stamps. So they have to like score it and bend it, which is probably a huge part of why it looks the way it does.
See, all you fucking samurais, you thought you were out of work. That fucking metal folding's coming back in a big way.
I gotta go to the local forge this weekend. I gotta get my car worked on.
Worked on? I gotta get me a custom plate. I want the plate to survive it.
Yeah, talking about the material, I don't know that you guys touched it, but it's the same material they're putting on their rockets.
Yeah, no, we didn't say that. I don't even know that I knew that.
The exoskeleton is also like a aerospace engineering thing. I think in the reveal video, he said something about the body on the frame versus the body being the frame is like why planes can do what they can do now. Like,
okay.
Early planes were a body on a frame, and it was a lot harder for them to fly around. I don't know. I don't know all the science behind it, but that's part of why they're doing it, I guess. I don't know. They pulled a lot of stuff from the aerospace side of Tesla.
Yeah.
Even like the tie downs, there's no hooks. They got L tracks and stuff, which is what they use in planes. Apparently, I don't have planes, so I'm not for sure, but that's what I heard.
I think that's interesting because I wonder if Elon was just sitting around and he was like, "Man, I got all this leftover metal from all these badass rockets I built. What should I do with them?" And then he smoked a joint with Joe Rogan, and then he got home and he was like, "I'm gonna smoke more weed." And then he like smoked more weed and he was like, "I'm gonna build a truck out of this shit."
Bullshit. I bet I could take that metal and build a bong. I'm gonna make a bong that looks like the DeLorean. Whoa! I could build a truck out of this.
No, it wasn't even a thought. He started building a bong that looked like a DeLorean. Then he
just built the Cybertruck.
How did I build a truck? I'm awesome. Look at the truck I built. Who wants one of these? And everyone was like, "Fucking take our money."
So like old school futuristic media, this was kind of what everything looked like, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, like this is futuristic because they're simplifying the manufacturing process so it's cheaper and easier so they can give it to more people.
Yeah, which is exactly what he did with space travel, which is why SpaceX is looking at being a thing because he was like, "Oh, NASA spends all this money. I could do this for cheaper. I can sell tickets. Let's put motherfuckers in space who aren't astronauts. Luxury space crews. Let's do that." Like, this guy is just, like, one of my favorite dudes in the world. I'm not, like, trying to jerk him off, but, like, I'm jerking him off right now. So I'll go ahead and announce it and admit it since that's what everyone else is thinking. But just the ridiculous shit, because he, like, comes on the scene basically out of nowhere. I mean, he's the reason we have PayPal, and I could do a whole fucking like 45-minute spiel about his history and where he came from, but this dude is just like basically comes out of nowhere and is like, I'm gonna solve all these problems. And no one has been like, this guy's the Antichrist. And I think that's weird because he fits some of the criteria, and he's
Until
developing
he starts
followers.
buying 10 specific plots of land, I'm not going to be that worried. No, he's doing the same thing that John D. Rockefeller did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what it is.
He sees a hole in the market and where the market's going, and he's gonna put his dick in it.
Yeah, which is capitalism 101.
Yeah, I just all the shit that he's doing, I think is awesome. And then, like, there was a ton of hate for the Cybertruck when it, like, on Facebook and stuff. And
why? Because they already brought a hybrid. Because they got suckered into that game.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
The design is also a smart marketing strategy because it is super polarizing. Like you either love it or you absolutely hate it, and both sides of that argument are talking about it everywhere.
Yeah.
So the Cybertruck is everywhere.
Look, and now there are probably a lot of husbands where the wife's like, "That's fucking stupid. You're not getting one of those." And he went over to the computer, was like, "I'm not getting one of these. Deposit. Fucking, we'll see what your Prius does against this."
Oh, so you said that is, some people either really love it or they really hate it.
Yeah.
For everybody who really hates it, I'm just going to tell them the same thing I always get told. It's because they have a fear of change. And they need to go with progress.
Yeah.
And just because it's a change they don't particularly like doesn't mean they shouldn't embrace it.
I mean, if this does well, other car companies are going to make stuff that looks more boxy like this. Like, they're oh, let's get on that hype train.
Well, hell, there was
get some of that money.
This is the first time I've seen a boxy ride that didn't look like it should have little wooden dolls with the Charlie Brown swizzle on its forehead riding in it.
So the base model on the Cybertruck is almost the same price as the base model on the Model 3, which was the last one that he came out with.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be like the super affordable one, and this is almost just as affordable if you're getting the base model.
Well, if you're getting a truck, period.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, we were kind of wrong last week, or I was, when I said I thought this was cheaper than what you could get a 4x4 truck for, but this is about the same price as what you said, right? 4x4.
I got on the Ford website and built like the simplest 4x4 F-150, and I think it was like 38. So right about the
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about the same, except for, I mean, this is cooler.
Yeah.
It's not a Ford.
Yeah.
So you're hopefully not going to have to deal with those recall situations they're dealing with right now. I got it in. Anyway, so...
Another thing with the cost, if you get the top tier Cybertruck, $70K, it has a 500-mile range on the battery.
Jesus.
The Model S, the base model is about 80. It's like just under 400.
Okay, so just under 4. I can drive just under 400 miles.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I fill my car up, and that gets me like 317 miles or something like that. So theoretically, I'm not gonna have an issue with this battery situation.
Dollar per mile on your battery, the Cybertruck is blowing everything away.
Yeah.
You can get a better mileage range with another Tesla vehicle, the Roadster. It's going to have 600 plus, but you're going to pay $200K.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The way I see it, if you're going to roll up in style, this would be the way to do it. And this is the only ride I've seen where you can roll up in style where you're not rolling up to the scene with your ceiling missing.
I mean, you could go get your fancy Batmobile, Lamborghini, or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
That's going to be real fast too, right?
Right, as in it's going to be really fast, or right as in it's going to be really expensive?
I mean, both.
Yeah, it's going to be super duper expensive.
So your Batmobile has 2.8 0 to 60, and that top tier Cybertruck, the 70,000 500-mile range, has a 2.90 to 60. So you could almost keep up with your Batmobile. I don't know what that Lambo is going to cost, but
I think it was like 225 or some ridiculous ass shit like that. Like, it was something
over
stupid.
$200,000.
Yeah, it was something like only Bruce Wayne could afford.
Yeah, so for a fraction of the price, you can get to 60 miles per hour,
fuck
0.1
that.
second slower.
Let's run them at 60 miles an hour into each other and see which one survives.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Not-
I'm cruising around in my post-apocalyptic truck, and this fucking giant Lambo comes, or not giant, but this little baby Lambo comes up against me, like, and we're talking 0 to 60, so we don't even know what the staying power is, like how fast, how long they're going to be able to maintain those speeds.
Well,
But,
probably
like,
until the
what I
Lambo
hear
runs out
is-
of gas.
Yeah, yeah. But what I hear is, dude in the Lambo is about to get police maneuvered into the fucking ditch, and I'm gonna keep driving. So
Yeah. So, post-apocalyptic vehicle. The Cybertruck has a giant battery in it, and they put outlets on the vehicle. So if you lose power, you can plug your house into your truck if you need to.
Now, does it work
I can
like
plug my house into my truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
What's
So
the
they make
problem?
the Tesla makes power banks, which are just giant batteries that you set up in your house, so you have
the
electricity.
power walls.
Yeah.
They come in and they install a whole wall that's a battery.
So this is basically one of those on wheels, if you need it to be. There's also an air compressor for the air suspension that you
Okay.
can tie into, and then you can use your air tools if that's
This
something
is
you
fucking
want.
stupid.
Yeah,
So the outlet, how does it work? Does it run off of AC or DC?
I would assume AC. Like shit,
Well,
we're
yeah,
plugged
that's what
in the
your
wall.
house runs off of,
Yeah.
but your car runs off of DC. That's why I'm asking.
Well, your regular car.
Yeah, your regular car, but I don't know where the
I mean, it's not anything anymore for them to just install something that switches those.
Yeah, you can
Like you
have
just
a
flip a switch and you flip the
converter or
current,
something.
So
Sorry, I'm still stuck on the Apple thing of, well, if you bought the $40,000 one, then you have to buy a new adapter if you get the $70,000 one.
yeah.
Apple.
Well,
Apple,
I mean, those are
Apple.
those are.
This is why Tesla will
two
own your
very-
ass one day.
The outlets you have 120 and 240.
Yeah,
So,
so
if you,
110
if
or
you need to hook up a welder out in the woods and you have it in your truck bed, you can just plug it
Yeah,
into
you
the
can
truck.
haul the welder too.
Yeah.
That's
So
fucking welder on wheels. Pimp my ride.
So
Huh?
they did. They in fact pimped the shit out of this ride.
Did you see that they also made a four-wheeler?
Yeah. So does the Cybertruck open up and the four-wheeler like drive into it, and then like the Cybertruck close? Because I feel like that's the next step. I feel like the only way this can get more awesome is if it
Looks like the mystery machine while it does it.
maybe the Cybertruck 2.0 will do that, but right now you just flip the tailgate down and there's a loading ramp in the tailgate that you pull
Yeah.
out, and when you do that, the air suspension adjusts, raises the front and drops the bottom, so it's not as steep of an incline, so you can just drive it up in there.
The bottom.
How easy is the motor to work on? Like as far as replacement parts, things of that nature. Because that's something I'm very.
I wouldn't
curious
do it.
about. Well, not with that attitude.
Well, it's like your phone. Like if you open it up, you got to peel a sticker off that voids the warranty.
Yeah, it's
If that warranty was worth a fuck, you wouldn't be peeling your phone open to begin with. So let's just get that out of the way right off the bat.
yeah. I mean, it probably is going to be one of those like, hey, take this to our dealership type things.
Yeah,
have
for
it worked
sure.
on, have it fixed. Because like you're probably gonna like this is a whole new beast. This is a whole new thing. This isn't gonna. I imagine this isn't something like a regular mechanic is going to be able to work on. Like they're not gonna have the right knowledge of the parts and stuff.
I watched a video of somebody opening up one of the motors, and it's a computer. There's a computer inside. There's
Yeah, that's
so
what I
many
was kinda curious
chips. Like
about.
there's just like giant computer chips inside. Like there's so much that the motor does to make sure it's doing everything right.
Huh. Well, grab your USB drives. I'm just kidding. They'd be the USB-Cs.
Since the video, people have been tweeting Elon saying, "Let's do this and let's do that." One of those things is
I got an idea. Let's just release it. And then we can critique it. I want to see it in the flesh. I know it's on the stage and it's technically real. Yeah, that's fine. So is the Batmobile. But you get a good look at that motherfucker up close and personal, and it's not all it's cracked up to be on TV. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So a couple of the things that people have suggested that I want. I didn't mention that I am one of those 25,000 pre-orders. I'm gonna get
You
me one of
are,
these.
in fact.
But
When
so
do they come out?
it's gonna be like 2 years, I think.
Fuck. I might go pre-order this.
They said they're gonna start with the base model, and then move up the models. So like the base models will be out first.
Did you
But
pre-order the base model?
I think I got the 2 motor.
Oh, okay.
But most of the pre-orders are the 2 and 3 motor. So I feel like it would be a better idea to flip that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So matte black, I want that.
Yeah.
And there's also supposed to be an option for the bed cover to be solar panels.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Elon said if you're sitting in a sunny area with your bed covered, the solar panel gets you like 15 miles a day for free for sitting still.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. What else have I not talked about? That might be all I got. Oh, you guys didn't talk about it being bulletproof. Yeah, so it's kind of bulletproof up to a 9mm handgun. So you could probably shoot it with 22s all day.
So you got Batman's armor. Anything but a straight shot. So how well does it do against dogs?
I mean, you probably destroy a dog.
It's a little bigger than their mouth, so they can't bite it, probably.
Hence the 16-inch clearance. Talking, Rottweilers or Chihuahuas.
Oh, 16 inches. Back to Apple. You're going to love this. I saw a video and some guy was talking about, I think the Model 3 has a 15-inch screen in it. And then the new fancy Apple laptop, they were like, we have a 16-inch screen. And then Tesla comes out like, nah, bitch, we got a 17-inch screen in our Cybertruck.
We got 1 more inch than you. You got anything else about it?
I think that's pretty much all I got.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you showing up to
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Psych.
Psych.
It's like Crimson Ring. Unprofessional. I saw a video of a guy that got to ride in it.
Okay.
And he was like 6'4". And
Okay.
he sat in the back and said there was tons of space.
Aw, shit.
And it was like sitting on a couch in his living room. Super comfy.
I'm going to be so cozy up in that motherfucker at 5'8".
Another thing that I thought was
You
cool.
can't see me. I'm
Seems
5'11".
kind of another touch on the futuristic part of it. The rear view mirror.
Uh-huh.
You can't really see with the bed cover. So instead, they have a camera on the back and
Nice.
an LED screen where your rear view mirror should be.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I thought that was cool.
I'm digging it. I'm pre-ordering it. It's happening.
I want to see it first. I'm sorry.
What's the 2 motor?
40 for the base, 50 for the 2 motor, and 70 for the tri-motor.
All right. That 2 motor.
I'm going to wait till I see it. I don't pre-order video games. I'm not pre-ordering a fucking car.
Yeah, well,
The 2 motor has like a 4-point-something 0 to 60, which is still pretty quick.
And Fallout 76 was supposed to run great right out of the box. Just saying.
Yeah.
I want to fucking see it before I start throwing money at a fucking thing.
That's solid. I understand it.
While I was looking into the Cybertruck, I think the same guy that was sitting in the back of the Cybertruck owns a Model 3, and he did a review of it after having it for 1 year. It might have been the only negative thing. No, the body's cheap because it's aluminum, dents real easy, but he didn't really care about that. His main complaint was the paint. The paint is garbage. He said it is absolutely the worst paint job he has ever seen on any vehicle ever in his life.
Huh.
And
It's
when he
also
bought
like
his
a prototype, though, right? Or the paint
No,
on the
this was-
Tesla?
yeah, the
Yeah,
model.
this was his
Oh.
Model
It was
3, wasn't it?
a 1-year review of his Model 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and when he bought it, the color that he got was an upcharge, and now it's the basic for free paint. He said, "Do not spend any extra money on paint. Go get it painted. Go get a vinyl wrap. Do something."
Yeah.
But the paint is trash.
But it runs, right?
Sounds like solid advice.
I mean, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has the performance one, so it fucking goes.
Shits and gets.
Yeah,
Like my fucking $250,000 Lamborghini.
yeah. I think the Model 3 was like 3.2 060. I can't remember. I was thinking real hard about getting one of those. I almost pre-ordered that when it came out, and then I was like, nah.
You don't know what the paint's going to be. I'm just saying. I don't pre-order shit.
They have a lot of issues with the manufacturing, like gaps in doors and just shit not fitting together right. But if you catch it, like when you're picking it up, you're like, hey, this is wrong. I need you to fix this. I think you have like 2 weeks to tell them stuff like that. But the Tesla community has made a checklist that you should take with you when you go pick up your Tesla. It's actually, there's a lot of stuff on it. Just so you make sure for sure you've checked everything that might be messed up.
That's
so
kind
you
of
can
cool.
get it fixed.
I wonder do you know how has like Elon or Tesla press release or anyone talked about the checklist and like how they, like, are they encouraging that? I feel like they would encourage something.
I don't know about that.
They probably just left no comment or some shit.
Yeah.
Or when asked about it, he said that he was just going to buy the stock back at X price. And
I mean, from what I've heard, it's not like a difficult process. You're just like, hey, these things are wrong. Yeah. And then they either give you the next car that shows up or take yours back and fix it.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was very informative because I know shit about Tesla or cars. Or
all right, I guess I'll let you have your show back.
Well, we appreciate all the information, Barry. We definitely didn't have
any of it.
Any of that. All right, a couple quick things in the news happening right now.
Yes, let's talk news.
UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson won by a landslide.
All the polls I seen was him losing.
Yeah, everything I heard, he was going to lose. He's a piece of shit. We don't
terrible.
like that guy. Everyone hates that
terrible.
guy. Then he wins by a landslide.
Yeah, so it goes to show you exactly what's going on the other side of the Atlantic and how information gets skewed, apparently.
Yeah. Weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I give.
Yeah. All right, House panel approves marijuana bill for federal legalization. This actually happened last month.
And this will fail in the Senate.
Maybe not. I don't know.
All right, we'll see.
Re-election year, man. I think Trump's going to sign it in to get those votes.
It won't make it to Trump's desk. It has to go through the Senate next.
It doesn't have to go to... I mean, he can executive order it. We know he likes to do that.
Yeah, but so did Obama, and he didn't executive order it.
He wasn't worried about getting reelected. He knew he already had it.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you run against Romney.
And you know, maybe it does die.
I'm pretty sure it has to go through the Senate before it hits the actual desk.
It does. Well,
and
yes,
you think Mitch McConnell's going to let that go through?
That's the standard order, but if Trump wants to, he can pull it around and just sign it anyway. Even if it fails, he can pull any bill that fails in the Senate and sign it into...
Well, he probably won't sign it until he's reelected.
That's what he's been doing. That's why everyone's pissed off about. That's what everyone's pissed off about. Or that's one thing everyone's pissed off about. He has more executive orders than any president before him, apparently.
No, I thought everybody was pissed off at him about a phone call he took.
Everyone's pissed off at him all the time. But
I thought that got dropped, and then I saw it on the news again.
No, they're still they're doing the fucking trial and everything, like the ambassador and shit from, I think it was Ukraine, is like, I didn't feel like I was being extorted. And they're talking about, well, you know, he's trying to get dirt on the Bidens. They're like, but there's dirt to be had on the Bidens. This is like a legit thing.
I thought the guy that reported it came out and said, yeah, I was just bullshitting or something like that.
No, everybody's admitted to the phone call. Like, the phone call's real. Like, nobody has denied that this phone call took place. What they're trying to figure out now is, did he withhold funds, or did he withhold Congress-approved U.S. aid to the Ukraine in order for them to dig up dirt on his political opponent?
I'm just so tired of hearing about Trump.
Oh.
That's all right, and that's our quick recap of the impeachment hearings that's going on because we said we wouldn't talk about it. But I'm really thinking that he's going to executive order this shit, even if it fails. But
we'll see.
If Mitch McConnell wants him to be president again, he's going to get the most votes if he's the one that legalizes marijuana. Like, the citizens have wanted it for years. Like, states are doing it anyway.
Look, let's just be real clear. It shouldn't be illegal to begin with.
No, it shouldn't be.
Let's just face facts. It's like every other drug. You know who also agrees with me on decriminalizing all these drugs?
Don't
Andrew
fucking say it.
fucking Yang.
I thought you were going to say Biden.
Biden doesn't fucking know what's illegal and what's not.
Biden's not even sure what year he's in anymore.
Yeah, he has no fucking clue.
Yeah, I like some of the stuff Yang said. I mean, it's a shame that
his approval rating should be sky fucking high.
His rating
his rating should be so high it should be able to talk to God.
Yeah, but it's not. You know why? Because no one knows who the fuck he is, and he is not of basic white nationality descent.
Oh yeah, I'm like in favor of him because he's Asian. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying
totally.
your favor. I'm saying he's gonna have trouble getting Republican votes because there's stuff going on.
I know plenty of Republicans who will vote for the old Jew.
But yeah, I mean that's it. I mean there's there's a lot of racism on that side of the aisle. And
bullshit. There's not. There's racism on both sides of the fucking aisle, and they make up about 5%. They're in the fringe. Most Republican voters are not 5%. Fucking racist.
I'm not saying most are. I'm saying there's a large percentage of. I'm not saying most, but
a large percentage, but not most.
No,
just
most
a large
would imply
percentage.
Over 50. It's definitely under 50.
So what's a large percentage?
I mean,
then?
It's probably around 49.
What's your definition of large percentage? No. I want to know your definition of what a large percentage is.
Probably over 20%.
But not 50.
No, because over 50 would be most. And I'm not saying most.
You're just saying a large percentage
of. Yeah.
I just don't think that there's a lot of fucking racists out there to begin with.
All right. Yeah, so anyway, we'll find more about that at the beginning of the year when the bill hits the Senate floor, right?
I don't know. It depends on if the impeachment hearings are over yet, because they might be able to squeeze that in on the news if we're super lucky.
Right. We actually struggled to find stuff in the news cycle that wasn't about the impeachment hearings. So, yay. This is a news show, I guess.
It's not a news show. Entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, speaking of entertainment, Nick Cannon released a new track this week. I can't even take this seriously.
Who the fuck's Nick Cannon?
Nick Cannon is a guy who was on a show called Wild and Out. He also married Mariah Carey for a little while. Let me see where he got his start, because I think I know, but I want to be sure. Oh, he was in Drumline.
Oh, yeah, let me fucking watch that movie again.
He was on one episode of Kenan and Kel.
That show was fucking awesome. I would watch the entire series.
Own show called The Nick Cannon Show.
I would watch the entire series of Kenan and Kel versus 30 minutes of Drumline. I'm just saying.
No, I'm on board with you.
I would have orange soda in fucking hand, watching my favorite Good Burger duo.
He's in the R. Kelly Ignition video. I don't think he's getting peed on.
Was he a guy?
Oh, he's on 23 episodes of All That as various characters and musical guest.
That's probably the only place I would have seen him. It's 23 episodes of All That. Great show, by the way.
He's in a lot of Mariah Carey music.
Did he ever
videos,
win Legends of the Lost Tomb?
No, he wasn't on that.
Oh, well. Did he ever get slimed?
He started his career doing stand-up, and then he formed a rap trio, the G4 Dope Bomb Squad.
Oh, boy.
And he was opening for people like Will Smith and 98 Degrees.
Okay.
And then he had a record deal with Jive Records in 01 and was featured on the soundtrack of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius.
Great show, by the way. I'll admit it. I fucking love it. All right. So Nick Cannon
actually managed to do 202 episodes of Wild and Out. Okay.
Have you watched it? I feel like it's kind of like an improv show.
Yeah, they do like rap battles.
Yeah.
It's definitely like an improv show. They do like random shit too. There's a lot of rap battles though.
Whose rap battles it anyway, where the lyrics are made up and the beats don't matter?
No, it's I feel like it's a little bit more. It might be just like PG-13 maybe.
Well, if he's opening up for Will Smith, I would assume so.
Yeah,
well, that's where he started.
Oh,
yeah. And where he's about to end is his diss track this week against Eminem.
You know what?
So...
Speaking of Will Smith, he ain't got to cuss to sell records. Well, Eminem does. I'm just saying.
I don't know that he has to. I think he just chooses to.
Well, fuck them and fuck you too.
I actually just listened to that song yesterday.
Such a great fucking tune.
So, what I thought was interesting, and the point that the reason I bring this up, the thing I wanted to touch on is, Eminem for years has claimed through his music that him and Mariah Carey had a relationship at some point, whether it just be sexual or even a little bit more. And Mariah Carey has always denied it.
I don't know.
There's always been some back and forth between the two of them. Mariah Carey even eventually wrote a song called Obsessed, which is about Eminem and how he's obsessed with her and she wouldn't ever have anything to do with him. But she was married to Nick Cannon for a while, and thanks for taking care of that edit there, Barry. I'm just gonna start over.
Thanks for taking care of that edit there, Barry.
Nick Cannon went on T.I.'s podcast a couple of months ago, and I thought it was interesting the way Nick Cannon responded to T.I.'s questions. So T.I. makes some jokes about the Mariah Carey and Eminem thing and whether or not it actually happened. And Nick Cannon never says that it didn't happen, and then says things along the lines of, what happened between them is between them and stuff like that. And if you go and you listen to, all you have to do is type in T.I. interviews Nick Cannon. It really sounds like something actually happened that Nick Cannon knows about, that he's trying to not necessarily say, but also not deny for her.
Bullshit. I'm thinking he's just fucking riding it out like the fucking, okay. So I think it was last year, O.J. Simpson went on TV and had like an interview, or no, there was a lost interview from years ago, and they had all the spectators watch the interview and talk about how O.J. Simpson admitted to murder. He didn't admit to shit. He just fucking talked to hear his fucking head rattle. I think that's what Nick Cannon did.
I think watch the interview and then you can tell me if you.
I will, and I will fucking go into great detail how he's just fucking.
And we'll break that interview down next week, I guess, because that's the thing we're gonna do now.
Fuck it, why not? And I'll tell you exactly how he's like, well, I didn't necessarily conform nor deny. Because if Eminem would have ever fucked any woman in showbiz, it'd have been Jennifer Lopez. And Puffy, you know this. So...
All right, well, if you're not an Eminem fan and you don't get our references, then fuck you, Steve. One last little bit of news. Apple is now offering free genetic tests for its employees.
So they can find out how much of a percentage of victim they are?
Nope, that's not it at all. That is the what?
What?
So these genetic tests are specifically for
victims.
If you have inherited diseases.
Yeah, victims.
Okay, I mean, you're not wrong, but it's victims of diseses.
What do you think I was talking about?
Nope. I don't know what you were talking about. Now I'm the asshole. Fuck you. All right, now I think this is awesome. I think this is a cool precedent set by a company that, you specifically have taken some time to bash in this particular episode.
Is China paying for it?
I don't know who's paying for it. I assume Apple is. Probably the consumer, honestly, because that might be why the new cell phone went up $200 a piece.
No, the new cell phones went up because their company model was, if we sell less, then we can charge more and we'll make up the difference, because at that time their stock had dropped like 20% or 17%. It was something stupid.
Oh, okay.
So they jacked up the price
thinking
that the diehard fans would still buy it.
Yeah,
that's why the price went up.
I bought a used one this time.
Oh, I didn't buy one.
I bought one generation down, and I guess maybe it's not. It was like semi-used or whatever.
Gently used.
Like refurbished or something.
It was not refurbished.
But it is gently used.
I think it said gently used.
Yeah, it's like a pair of gloves you get at Goodwill.
But you can get the refurbished ones. I didn't want to go that far because I wanted something with fewer miles on it. It's not a car. But I think this is cool. I think this is a precedence because,
it's a nanny state.
Okay.
All right, think of it like this, all right? I'm just going to assume...
Before you go into this, because I just remembered a thing that I forgot again.
This is about the Cybertruck?
Yeah, you said something about stock prices. I'm pretty sure Tesla's stock dropped a lot when they revealed the new Cybertruck.
Did it pick back up?
That's all I got on that. I just heard that was a thing.
No, that's accurate. That is a thing that happened.
So
I wonder if it did pick back up when they announced how many pre-orders they had. Investors were like, "Fuck, why do we do that?"
okay, so back to the
All right,
app.
nanny state.
Nanny state.
This is a nanny state move.
This is definitely a control move.
Okay.
Because as soon as you know what type of problems somebody could potentially have, they can adjust your insurance, your health insurance, to conform to that.
Okay.
So now you could look at it the route of, oh, well, they're just trying to, keep me healthy or whatever. Unless they're actually going to develop the cure for Parkinson's disease,
Yeah.
then I don't really see the point of trying to figure out if you're going to have Parkinson's disease 30, 40, 50 years down the road.
Right.
But what they can do is they can adjust your premiums just in case you happen to have Parkinson's disease down the road. They can adjust your premiums to make sure if you have Huntington's disease, they're adjusted.
Okay. So you think that's the motivation behind doing this? Not to.
I've never seen Apple do anything where money wasn't the motivation behind it. So yeah, I'm pretty secure in my conclusion.
All right. Okay. Well, I was excited about this, but now you've got me thinking this is probably not good.
Nope, it's not, because where's it going to end?
I just looked it up, and the Tesla stock is back where it was.
I figured as much.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you go Tesla.
Well, it usually dips like that.
Nikolai would be proud.
Nikolai. If Nikolai would have been fucking successful, we wouldn't even have to charge these fucking cars.
That's true. They would charge while we're driving down the street.
Or sitting in the driveway or wherever.
Also, cloning would probably be a thing.
That dude was, nuts, right?
Nikolai Tesla? There was a dude.
He had a plan to where instead of plugging into the wall, you just stick a socket, you just plug into the dirt.
Yeah, well, what it was is this pole that emitted, whatever magnetic, electric waves. I don't know the details.
We are not electricians or electrothermatic
or historians, but I heard that the reason he got hit is because Hitler had him taken out.
Huh.
Then
maybe his plugging into the dirt thing was going to work. Hitler didn't like it.
There's a lot of theory that would say we should do a spot on Nikolai Tesla. There's a lot of theory that basically says had Nikolai
I don't know. I don't trust him. He might have interfered with our elections.
Had Nikolai succeeded, we'd have free energy by now. Because a lot of his theories and a lot of his ideas and stuff.
Was he the one back in cold fusion?
Maybe that would require some research. But yeah, that was a tangent. You're welcome. All right. Do you have anything else to say about the nanny state?
No, I'm just simply saying that if one could make the reasonable argument that, well, it's a private company and, just because these tests are available doesn't mean you have to take them.
Yeah.
Okay, fair point. And you could also say that, well, just because, a private company has your, DNA, whatever, or genes test or whatever it is, doesn't mean that the federal government doesn't have it.
Right.
Now, who's to say the federal government wouldn't subpoena Apple to where they would have to turn over those results?
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying.
So,
I didn't think about it like that. I was like, cool, people can find out if they're going to die of stuff.
Yeah, I mean...
they can maybe stop. Or maybe not, and then just know they're going to
Again,
die
there's
of
no
stuff.
cure for cancer. There's no cure for... I can name all... There's really no cure for a brain tumor.
Yeah, but I mean, there's preventative measures that you can take for a lot of those things.
Well, okay, so do you want to live the rest of your life being like, oh shit, and then scared shitless?
Well,
because
I mean,
that's another thing
too.
too.
Scare you, you gotta be able to handle the information, and it's not. From what I read, it's not you don't have to do it.
Yeah, not
it's
yet.
Just there if you want.
Well, it's never you have to.
It
it's
starts
always
with you have to.
Yeah. You never used to have to fucking borrow money from a bank. You never used to have to put your money in the fucking bank.
Yeah, you never used to have to carry insurance.
Yeah. So it never starts out as, it always starts off optional until it's not.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, all right. So Shane of DQP Does and I sat down to discuss the new Ghostbusters trailer and the helmed Lovecraft project by the showrunners of Game of Thrones. So we're going to cut to that real quick, and when we come back, we're going to discuss the war on Christmas and some interesting Pornhub statistics.
Dun dun dun.
Hi, Shane.
Hello, Russell.
Welcome to Drafty After Dark.
It's beautiful here.
Thanks.
I like your the moon thing.
Oh, me too. It's pretty.
It's a nice view of the city.
That's good aesthetic.
Yeah.
All right, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things.
Okay.
I want to talk to you about the new Ghostbusters trailer.
Ah, yes.
And then I also want to talk about David Benioff and D.B. Weiss directing a new Lovecraft thriller.
Okay.
Let's do Ghostbusters first.
Sure.
All right.
Let's do it.
What'd you think of the trailer?
I thought it looked good. I mean, I love Paul Rudd, whether he's being comedic or doing like some more dramatic turns or whatever. I like I don't know what the kid's name, the kid that plays Finn in Stranger Things.
Finn's his actual Finn Wolfhead is his actual name.
Whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
I like him. The other kid actors seem okay in the trailer. I mean, it's a lot better now than it was when we were kids. Kid actors
Right.
were like garbage all the time.
Now they start at like 3.
Yeah.
So-
Now they're all Gerber babies and Pampers kids and whatever, and they just are from birth in Hollywood. So
Yeah.
they're
I
better at
definitely
acting.
Yeah. I definitely feel like Finn stands out.
Yeah.
Especially with like a couple of his roles. I mean, his role in It is
Yeah.
very like more adult.
Mm-hmm.
Not just because he curses, but just like in general, like the themes and stuff that follow.
I thought all those kids in the first. Have you guys watched the second one yet?
I haven't watched the second one yet.
Okay, we need to watch that. But
Yeah.
all the kids that were in the first one were good, I
Yeah.
thought. But this looks interesting. Some like mystery and stuff. Kind of calling back to the first 2 movies.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Yeah, I like the tone that it sets. It kind of feels like did you watch Super 8?
No.
Okay. It kind of feels a Spielberg. Kind
Yeah.
of feels like a Spielberg thing.
Yeah. I mean, like you just see the picture. Like we've got the trailer up in the background over here, and you just look at the picture, and it looks like a dramatic angle and a dramatic action scene.
Yeah.
Just the screen cap for the trailer. So, I mean, that kind of is how the whole trailer feels.
Yeah. So
Also, the muted tones on
Yeah.
the filmography and stuff. So
yeah. I love the way the trailer looks, so I'm hoping
Mhm.
that's
how
that's
the movie looks.
how the movie looks.
Yeah.
I also love Paul Rudd. So I read quite a few things about how this has to end up being a comedy because Paul Rudd's in it, and
Yeah.
the only thing Paul Rudd can do is comedy.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on because it was like the first day or 2 that it was out, everybody was like, "Holy shit, Ghostbusters!"
Yeah.
And then like the second or third day, it was like, "Oh well, everybody's bitching." Only it's like 10 people or something.
Yeah, it's 10 people.
It's just like
who-
everything else.
Yeah.
The vocal minority is like,
Right.
"Hey, this thing offended me,"
Yeah.
or "I don't think this should be how it is,"
Right.
and that's dumb. And they have 10 Twitter followers, and they're all like, "Yeah, man." And
Yeah.
then some fucking blog picks it up, and then some semi-reputable clickbait news website picks it up, and then we all
Right.
see it in our Facebook.
Yeah. It's all in our algorithms.
And then we think everybody's bitching about it, but it's really like 25 people.
Yeah. It has to be like I'm holding out hope, man, that it's very few people because this trailer blew me away.
Yeah.
Especially after the flop that we had with the previous Ghostbusters.
Did you
movie.
watch that one?
I did.
I haven't
did watch
watched
that
it.
movie.
Just because like the trailers just look so bad.
Yeah.
It didn't look funny.
And it
was basically a reboot, right?
Yeah,
and I'm not a reboot guy. I
Right.
don't fucking like reboots.
Especially if you don't have to.
Yeah.
Like there was no reason to try to reboot this. Like this was the right approach all along.
It's like a soft reboot, right? Cuz it's like, okay, the stuff from the first two movies happened, but we're going through a story with new characters.
Right. Well,
where with the old characters are going to be there.
Yes.
And they're connected to the old characters.
Yes.
So it's like a soft reboot. It's Miles Morales. It's not
where Peter guides him and
Yeah.
like he's still a staple. Yeah. Yeah, it's more like that. So however, what I thought was interesting, and I don't know if it's just because of precedence or if he argued for it or what, but Bill Murray is the fourth billed member of the cast.
I think that's probably like Bill being Bill.
Yeah. I mean so they all had cameos in the 2016 I think reboot.
Whatever year it was.
They all had cameos, but they all played like bit roles and they didn't play their characters.
Which is dumb as hell.
Like none of the Ghostbusters stuff from the first two movies happened in that movie. I would say that the story, I liked a good portion of the story in the movie. It was like cohesive, so I could follow it and I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy the actual movie.
Right.
Like, and the jokes were kind of, I don't know, the jokes were, there was joke a minute or maybe even quicker than that. It was just like joke after joke.
Throwing the spaghetti against the wall.
Yeah. And it was, I felt like the entire movie was very pandering to women. Like, hey, we put 4 women in this role that men used to do, and you should go watch it.
I mean, like I said, I didn't see it, so I can't really comment on that particular thing. And they could have done that a lot better, you know. I mean, it could have been like this, not necessarily like their daughters or anything like that, but just like, you know, they stopped. What this makes it seem like is the original Ghostbusters stopped ghosts, period. Like, because it says in the trailer that there hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years.
Yeah.
So since the last movie,
right?
Ghostbusters 2. So it makes it sound like they stopped ghosts, period.
Yeah.
And then there was a period where there were no ghosts, and then something happens in this where the ghosts come back. So you could have done the same kind of thing where, like, you know, ghost problems haven't been as big or have just been gone.
Yeah.
And people have forgotten about it. And, you know, one of them's a fucking crazy professor at NYU or something. And, you know, Kristen Wiig was in it, right?
Yeah.
She's a graduate student or something and was like talking to him, and he shows her some shit, and then that's how it starts. And then like somebody else that's in the class starts fucking with basically the Necronomicon or whatever and brings ghosts back. I mean, that's probably a better plot than they had in the movie.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was 2 seconds off the top of my head. But, you know, they did what they did, and it's basically getting retconned out of existence.
Yeah. Hard.
Within 3 years. So
yeah. So Ivan Reitman directed the first 2 movies.
Yes.
And Jason Reitman is Ivan's son.
Mm-hmm.
Jason was approached with the script of the 2016 reboot, and he was like, no, this doesn't interest me. I don't want to do this. Well, the reason he agreed to do this one is because he was so appalled by the execution of the last movie that he was like, okay, if someone's going to do it, it's going to be me.
Yeah.
So that's essentially why he agreed to do this one, whereas he, you know, didn't agree to do the last one.
Yeah. I mean, like, I get that because it's, you know, his dad's legacy or part of it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he did other movies, but like, it's fucking Ghostbusters, man.
Yeah.
And then somebody kind of like, I mean, like I said, I didn't see it, but everything I've seen, even from, you know, from men, women, you know, doesn't matter. It was trash. It wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
So like, I mean, that's an affront to his father's legacy. So he's like, hey, I'm also a director. You offered me that movie, and I said I didn't want to do it. It was nice. I didn't say it was because it was bad, but this time I want to be in control.
Yeah.
Because it needs to not be shit.
Yes. Gil Keenan and
who directed that last one, by the way?
Jason Reitman are the writers for this new one.
Okay.
Let's find out who directed the last one. IMDb doesn't even want to show it to me. There it is.
It's been stricken from the record.
Paul Feig.
Okay.
Feig.
I don't know who that is. Was that Joey Adams that plays the mom in this?
I will check that in a moment.
All right.
Paul directed a movie called The Heat. Spy with McCarthy in it. He did Bridesmaids and he did Bad Teacher.
Okay.
Both of which are good movies. Bridesmaid is very much like a chick flick, but it's like it's good. He also directed an episode of Parks and Rec, a couple episodes of Weeds, Mad Men, 30 Rock, Arrested Development. His first television debut directorial was for Freaks and Geeks.
Huh. Oh, they do not have the whole cast on here. Oh, maybe that's who it is.
Are you looking at Carrie Coon as the mom?
Yeah. I'm assuming that's the mom, right?
She's really awesome. I believe that was the mom. So she was in a show called The Leftovers, which I really liked. She's also Proxima Midnight in Avengers Infinity War. And Endgame, of course.
I just thought it kind of looked like Joey.
Yeah, it does, definitely.
Okay. Just making sure that I'm not crazy.
No, you're not crazy. The first time I watched the trailer, I thought it was Renee Zellweger, who also kind of looks like Joey.
Yeah, Joey and Renee look a lot alike. Yeah. But anyway, the stuff about this having to be a comedy, I don't think that's necessarily true. We've talked about this a little bit in the DQP Does the MCU stuff with some of the different genre movies in that.
Yeah.
In the MCU. And if you think about your properties in a certain way, if they're capable of being, especially since this one has a semicolon subtitle.
Yeah.
You can play that off as like being a connected universe and having different style movies in it.
Yeah. I like that it's not Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah.
Because, we miss Harold Ramis
right.
But you can't have Ghostbusters 3 without him.
Right.
Like that would be really, especially as much input as he had on the scripts in the first two.
He was Egon, right?
Yeah, he's Egon.
Egon.
Aww.
I'm sorry.
We don't do that here. I'm just kidding. We do.
Yeah, you're full of shit.
So you can't have Ghostbusters 3 without him, and I'm sure like Murray and Hudson and Aykroyd are all at an age where they don't necessarily want to put on proton packs and try to run around and save the city from.
Yeah, it was more like I love Ramis, but I feel like that's probably a big part of it too.
Yeah.
'Cause like they're all, Bill's in his 70s, right?
Yeah, he's up there. Let me get you an exact age. He was born in 1950. If you didn't listen to last week's episode, you might not know, or you might just know from being my friend, that I'm not great at math.
He's 69.
So that makes him 69. Bill Murray would appreciate that age, I assume. I fucking love Bill Murray.
They change it every year.
Yeah.
So that he just stays 69.
He calls up IMDb on his birthday and he's like, "Hey, did you remember?"
Yes, sir, we remembered. Thank you. No, thank you. It's Groundhog's Day.
Fuck.
And they die laughing. He wasn't even funny and they die laughing just because it's Bill on the phone.
Yeah. I wonder if he ever gets frustrated. He's like trying to do something and people just keep laughing and he's like, "I'm not, this isn't funny.
I'm yelling at you."
Yeah. What are you doing? Why didn't you deliver my package? Package, right, Bill? No, seriously. Like,
don't tell anybody about this conversation. No one will believe you.
Oh man, yeah. The tone. I'm on board.
Do you know that story?
What?
The nobody's gonna believe you story
With Bill Murray?
Yeah. He I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was like somebody's like eating, and he like walks up and takes some of their fries, and he like looks at him and he's like, "Nobody's gonna believe you," and he walks off. Something to that effect.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Bill Murray, like random Bill Murray stories is like gotta be a subreddit because like I read a bunch of that shit before Reddit was a thing. And like I was just like, these are fucking hilarious. Why? But anyway, the tone, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board. You've sold me. Like I was already like when they released the teaser trailer, like fucking forever ago, I was like, oh, it's like that looks dark.
Yeah.
And like this looks dark in the right way.
Yeah.
Like I know it's gonna be a family movie. But it still like has those dark tones that
it's still
that
Ghostbusters,
really
but like yeah.
So I think giving it the subtitle too also works.
Yeah. That could be part of like the plot, or it could be part of, them passing the torch on to somebody else, or just in general.
Yeah.
But it could just be that like it's not technically a sequel, it's a story in the same universe.
Yeah.
So Afterlife, a Ghostbusters story, if you will.
Yeah. I'm down. I do want to see the Ghost of Egon.
Yeah.
I feel like Harold Ramis would appreciate that. If he was here, if he could, see it.
Only if he's talking to Bill.
Yeah. So I would love to see the Ghost of Egon, or like maybe Bill and Dan and Ernie's characters. Maybe they all die in the process.
Yeah,
like
and they're all
these
ghosts,
kids,
and they meet up with Egon.
And they meet up with Egon. Well, they're there. My idea ending for it is they're standing there, and they like appear as ghosts, and Paul Rudd's like, it's like Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
And then Egon shows up. You probably read this on Facebook.
Yeah.
Then Egon shows up, and he's like, guys, it's time. And then they all go, cue
credits start.
Cue the tears, roll the credits, and then everything warbles and it cuts back to Paul Rudd.
Record scratch.
Because you got to get the joke in.
Yeah.
After you've had this super rough moment, and he was just like deadpan looks at the camera and he's like, it was better than Star Wars. Because this is how you do it. And I'm saying that before I even see the movie. I'm that convinced from the trailer.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, there will be jokes in it.
Yeah.
Because it's still like you said, it's a family movie, but it's probably not going to be as straight up comedy as
And if you think back to like Ghostbusters 1 and 2, like it was mostly funny because Bill Murray.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of comedy with Rick Moranis' character too, because there was a lot of like slapstick and stuff with him.
Like just being
a goofy, clumsy bastard and all that stuff. There was a lot of like romantic comedy between Bill and Sigourney, and then Ernie's funny.
Yeah, Ernie's funny.
He's not Bill Murray, but he's funny too. And Dan's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they're all funny, but it's what I've talked about, and DQP does a lot, where like everyone's a fucking comedian now. And in Ghostbusters, I feel like, Bill's the comedian, and then everyone else is like there, and they say stuff that's funny, but it's not like specifically for jokes. Like Bill is like specifically telling jokes
is like
the whole
out
time.
of water. He's like the fish out of water in the whole thing. He like doesn't look like he belongs.
Yeah.
And doesn't like feel like he's acting. He's just like the comedian there telling jokes. And it worked in that movie.
Right.
Both of those movies.
Yeah.
But like a lot of times it doesn't, because you're like, oh, well, Adam Sandler's just fucking standing there in this scene and all these other people are trying to act serious, and he's just like got his hand in his pocket and like, yeah, joke.
Yeah, it's got to be, you got to have the right guy, which I think Ryan Reynolds is another one of those right guys, where like the entire scene can be serious as fuck.
You have to be good at it.
Yeah.
You can't just do it.
Right.
And like people don't, it's like, they give everybody that has made somebody laugh ever a chance at doing it, basically.
Yeah. Which I just learned today because I watched the Movies That Made Us Ghostbusters episode.
Okay.
So, and I thought it was really funny, the line, so when they're standing in the mayor's office, and the one guy is going on a rampage, and the mayor says something, and he's like, "Well, you learned a lesson or something or other," and Bill's like, "This guy has no dick." It was all improvised. And then the other guy played off that, and that whole scene where he gets like walked out of the office, everything in that scene after Bill says this guy has no dick is just improvised. So like, and just when you get the chance, you should watch that. And then, we should also do Ghostbusters probably.
Yes.
All right, and then the other thing I want to talk to you about, because we both love Lovecraft stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So Game of Thrones guys. And we have a few movies, right? Like we have like a couple movies, especially if you go back to the 80s, specifically one that you had me watch that feels very Lovecraft influenced.
In the Mouth of Madness?
In the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that movie.
That movie's fucking nuts.
It is balls out crazy.
Yeah. It's good though. I like it.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen this movie, it's Sam Neill, and he plays like a insurance guy that basically like goes and like checks on writers because the publishers have insurance policies out on their talent. And there's a guy that's kind of Stephen King-ish that is doing this new book, and he stops answering the phone, blah, blah, blah. So they send Sam Neill out to check on him, and they give him another representative of the publisher to go with him. And then, like, crazy-ass shit happens out on the East Coast, which, if you know Lovecraft, that's where the shit happens, is on the East Coast of the U.S. So it's a crazy-ass movie, and you should watch it. Be prepared for bad 80s special effects.
Yep.
But it's still awesome.
Yeah. I was so enthralled when we watched it.
Yeah.
I was just like, holy fuck, this is like something, I want this updated, but
yeah, holy shit.
So
that'd be crazy if we got a new version of that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I think it's part of a trilogy, but like loose trilogy, just like 3 horror movies by the same guy that aren't necessarily connected.
In the Mouth of Madnesses?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I know like Reanimator is like influenced.
Yes.
Off of some Lovecraft stuff. And there's a couple more, but like I said, you kind of got to go back to the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like the out of date effects, and like some of that stuff's hard to do with the out of date effects. There's also been like a few instances in Supernatural where they could have totally 100% like brought that lore in.
Yeah, well, there's one episode that's straight up some Lovecraft shit.
Yeah.
And
I love that episode.
That episode's great. And then it's just like, well, it's over with.
We're not going to fuck with that stuff.
What? That was awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do a new status quo. Let's do it. Come on.
Yeah.
But no.
We're gonna stick with the whole. Let's not ruin anything. If you want to hear us talk about Supernatural, please sign up to Patreon.
Yeah. The Gospel of Winchester.
Oh yeah, there it is. So it's kind of so H.P. Lovecraft is going to be in the movie. So
okay.
Yeah.
That could get interesting. Because if you guys don't know, Lovecraft was kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, not a super great guy.
We're separating the art from the person in this case, especially since we're so far removed time-wise.
Yeah.
And the art of the person is so influential in horror and just like a lot of things.
Yeah. He was an anti-Semite. He's a known racist.
General racist.
Yeah, just in general racist. So I thought that was interesting.
Okay.
I want to see how that pans out. But the movie is supposed to ask the question, what if Lovecraft was right?
Yeah.
And
what if it was all real?
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna take place in the 1920s.
Okay.
So I feel like we're gonna get like a noir movie.
I mean, that's one of the other genres he had a lot of influence on, was like the noir stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like a lot of it is like somebody going through and having their own issues and like being investigative and then finding crazy shit's going on. Now, like in the most of the noir stuff, it's not necessarily crazy like elder god shit.
Right.
It's usually like, you know,
Oh, it was
politicians
the husband all
or
along.
the husband is like murdered his wife the whole time, or she faked her death and stole the diamond or whatever, the noir shit. But like he was influential on the like tone and stuff. So that would be awesome if that's the way that movie came out.
Yeah, and that's that's kind of what I want. I definitely want to see some creatures.
Yeah.
I want to be scared. I want this to be a horror movie. I want this to scare the shit out of me. Because if anything was gonna do it,
scare the shit out of you in like a couple different ways too.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole thing with Lovecraft. Because it was a book. It wasn't jump scares. It wasn't like looking upon something and being terrified. It was the anticipation of horrible things happening through the characters you were watching or reading about. So that's a totally different thing than a lot of horror has. Especially like the last 20 years.
Yeah, like what it's turned into.
I mean, it's mostly gore porn and jump scares.
Yeah.
And I like stuff, like I'm not a horror guy.
Right.
But the stuff that I like is the truly terrifying stuff where it's like, holy fuck. It's got you making sure your fucking curtains on your shower are pulled back. And looking under your bed when you're 33 and shit like that. You're actually scared, not like, oh man, I almost peed my pants for 5 seconds and now I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah, like the actual, like, the aftermath of the thing you watched.
Yeah.
And
the existential terror.
Yeah. You're just laying in bed and you like can't sleep because the dread sets in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I feel like this could be.
Well, could be if someone else was in charge. Because, god damn it. How long did these guys run that show? From the beginning?
Yeah, from the beginning.
Okay. These guys ran the Game of Thrones TV show. Now, I'm sure some people that might be listening might have liked the show. I'm here to tell you that you need to go pick up a book and read the real thing, because it doesn't suck. It's actually amazing. And after the first season, the show took some kind of fucking weird left turn and never came back. And it was hot garbage from then on. I mean, there's good acting and stuff in it, but like it wasn't Game of Thrones. No. It wasn't The Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah. And a lot of people I've talked to who have watched it can tell, and who have watched it multiple times, can tell the difference in the quality of the story and the dialogue and even the acting, honestly, from season 1 to season 2. Because it's just insane. A big shift. And it keeps shifting. Like season 1 to season 2, huge shift. Season 2 and season 3 are very similar. Season 4, we get another fairly big shift. And then it's kind of season 4 and season 5 are very similar. Season 6 is kind of on par too. And then we get 7 and 8. And 7 was just like... 7 is the most dynamic shift I've ever seen in a show between 6 and 7 that I've ever seen in a show, ever.
Okay.
Just ever. Like, I've never seen such a dynamic shift in between 2 seasons. Like, that everything just... Like, I still enjoyed watching the show.
Yeah.
And 7 had a lot of fan service, so I even enjoyed those parts.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of stuff to do with a lot of characters that I enjoyed getting what they wanted, and a lot of characters I hated getting what they deserved.
Yep.
But the season as a whole, and from, like, a quality standpoint, was complete trash.
Yeah.
And it didn't get any... It even continued to degrade. So, like, I think eventually at some point in time, they just kind of stopped caring. So what my hope is that they bring the amount of passion they had for the project in the first season to this Lovecraft story.
Right.
Because this is something new. Like, this is a new thing. I think it is sort of based off of a book written about Lovecraft, but as far as like seeing this in cinema and seeing this on the big screen, like, this is going to be something new because, we have this new technology, we have these new updates, and this is going to be one of the early. This could set a precedence for getting more of these Lovecraft stories out, or more influential stories based off of. The closest thing that I would say has been like the Hellboy movies.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch the last one because I was Perlman, Guillermo all the way.
Right.
But those two movies felt like they could be Lovecraft stories.
I didn't watch the second one or the new one, but
the second one's really good. It's more like a fantasy story.
I
caught
that from the trailers, but
the first one is like
it's
a Lovecraft
very
story. And the second one feels very similar to the first one, but still it has a little bit more like fantasy to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I liked the first one a lot.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I did too.
I was hoping that this new one would be good, even though it didn't have Perlman in it. But by all accounts, it's fucking trash.
Harbor, like, how do you fuck that up? Like you were gonna struggle to replace Perlman, like no matter what. And then
you picked somebody that could actually work.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I don't know what they did, but everyone that's seen it that I know and everyone that talks about it online says it's garbage. So
yeah, I watched like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, you tried to watch it and you're like, ugh.
I don't stop watching movies. Like that's not a thing that I do.
No,
I've only ever walked out of one movie in the theater, and I've probably turned off less than 10 movies while I was at home.
I tell you what, I didn't walk out of The Happening, and I didn't shut off Tales from the Hood 2. So if I tried to watch it and I shut it off, that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah. So maybe you should try to watch it. We'll see what happens. All right, you got anything else to add?
No, I don't think so. I'm looking forward to seeing if it's worth a shit. If it is, awesome. Maybe those guys, okay, so there was one thing I wanted to say about the end of the show thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because that happens a lot with TV shows when they end.
Yeah.
The last season, the last few episodes, maybe even the last couple seasons, they start tying up loose ends and like they've built the stories up so much that it's impossible for the end to be satisfying.
Yeah.
And that's just a thing with long form, story.
Yeah.
So, that's it though. That's just what happens. It's really hard for people to accept that something that they've been watching for 4 years, 8 years, or whatever, is going to end in a way that is not the way they imagined it ending.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I get that. Notable mentions being How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. That was a big one for a lot of people. I never liked that show or watched it, but
we even got, like, as a fan, we got everything we wanted and still was not satisfied with the way the last season turned out.
Yeah.
But also, when you make a show that takes place over the course of a year, and then you take the last season and you make it take place over the course of a night.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why would you ever? It was a bad move. It was a bad direction.
It was an idea that they had, it was like anything else where it's like, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? And then maybe like halfway through they were like, oh, this was a dumb idea.
Yeah.
I fucking thought of this. Jerry, you're fired. Get the fuck out.
Fuck you, Jerry. Steve's too. So Dexter's another one. Nathan just recently finished that, and he was like, fuck this show. And I was like, yeah, man, fuck that show.
I'm going to drive a boat into a hurricane.
Yeah.
Oh, but I survived.
No.
What the fuck?
I was like, what'd you think of the end? And he was like, the hurricane turned Dexter into a lumberjack. And I fucking died. Fucking died. And then there's definitely a couple other ones. Hopefully we don't run into this. Yeah, you know where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we don't run into this with Supernatural.
We will.
It's
gonna be
season.
Some fucking hokey shit, and you're gonna be so pissed. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I saw it coming. And you're gonna be like, God damn it.
Oh, yeah, probably. It won't end the way I want it to, so we'll see.
Yep.
All right, Shane. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Russell.
All right, and I'm Russell, and back to Russell. All right, well, that was Shane and Russell, and I'm Russell, so we're back. War on Christmas, Wolf.
War on Christmas. I just got back from the front lines, and I just want to inform you who are fighting the good fight.
The good fight, huh?
The good fight.
Fighting to save Christmas?
Yes.
We're fighting against Christmas.
No, we're fighting to save it.
We're fighting to save Christmas.
Because that's what Jim Varney would do, and that's what we're going to do.
Hell yeah, Jim Varney.
Thank you, Ernest Saves Christmas. So a lot of you probably don't know this, but the war on Christmas is obviously real. And if you're looking around saying that, oh, well, Christmas is nothing but consumerism, you would be absolutely right. And we have to continue to fight the good fight. So go out, spend a bunch of money, buy a bunch of shit, max out those credit cards. Greatest economy ever, folks. Let's embrace it.
Didn't we just say like a couple of episodes ago to like not max out your credit cards and
well,
to,
that was for personal gain. This is to fight the war on Christmas.
So in order to fight the war on Christmas, we have to
put
all
ourselves
of our money.
in the worst financial spot humanly possible.
Okay.
For the good fight.
For the
good fight.
Yeah, I'm less convinced that this is a good fight the more you talk about this.
I don't know why. Were you trying to PC me? Is that what it is?
No.
You're pissed off because I say Merry Christmas and not Happy Holidays?
No. First off, all right. You should be able to say Happy Holidays if you want. You should be able to say Merry Christmas if you want. There's no reason to get offended over it. Like, just politely tell the person back. Like, if you're Jewish, if you're Jewish and I tell you Merry Christmas, tell me fucking Happy Hanukkah.
I would tell you Happy Hanukkah anyway.
Yeah.
Because I think it might be Hanukkah.
And I'm not going to be offended.
Why would you be?
I don't know.
It makes me feel
stupid.
very inclusive.
Yeah, I'd be like, holy shit, I just told them to have a merry one day. They told me to have a merry 8 days. Like, that's fucking awesome. There's no reason to be offended over it.
I don't think anybody is offended. I think nobody's offended.
But we hear about people being offended all the time.
I think they're lying.
It's in like every news article.
I think they're full of shit. Because it's in the news article. It's up front. You get these people behind closed doors. They don't give a fuck. They're like, whatever. I wish somebody Merry Christmas. They wish me Happy Holidays, and that was it. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. I really believe that too. I don't think anybody really gives a shit.
So what you're saying is that the media is perpetrating and creating groups that are offended to offend other people by people that are offended. So then those people are offended, but then those other people who kind of care about the thing that they weren't actually offended by then actually become offended by the thing.
Close.
Okay.
Is it just a corporate scam? Like, we can spend all this money making Christmas and Hanukkah and all of these things, or we can make the same thing that says Happy Holidays and everybody will buy it.
So the war on Christmas was, I'm pretty sure, originally coined by Bill O'Reilly in 2003. Now, if you wind the clocks back to 2003, we were in a big offensive war. We were looking for Bin Laden. We were trying to overthrow dude man from Iran. Saddam Hussein. We were trying to overthrow Saddam Hussein, which we might have actually done by 2003. I can't quite remember. But anyways, so, re-elections are coming up because it was the John Kerry and George W. Bush, who was up for re-election. He was running against John Kerry. So they're going back and forth, in that. And the economy's starting to go down. Like, it's starting to slip. Because not too far after that's when the whole the car crisis thing happened. A lot of that had to do with NAFTA and deregulation of Wall Street and a bunch of fast, loose spending.
Okay.
So how do you get consumer spending up?
Tell them to spend money.
Tell them to spend money. You can't come
on their loved ones.
On their loved ones.
Well, it's also like they're selling the idea, because so instead of being like, hey, come buy stuff and have stuff, like, they're like, come buy stuff and give it to someone you love.
Yeah.
And they will appreciate you and they will love you. You're not getting them gifts. Oh no, they might hate you.
Okay, and that's a good point. So, you bring the season of community together and, all this shit. And it looks great on paper. But you got to throw some commercialization in there. And what's funny is that's the thing everybody bitches about, is the commercialization of Christmas. Nobody does anything about it. Everybody still buys shit for everybody. They just bitch about it in the process. Right. So it does make you wonder if there is some corporate propaganda pushing it. Okay, they call it Black Friday. The reason they call it Black Friday is because for the rest of the year, these retail stores run in the red.
Right.
When Black Friday happens, it puts their numbers in the black, which puts them into positive. Now, if their holiday sales are down, yes, I said holiday sales because people buy shit for not just Christmas, but if their holiday sales are down, then they're going to essentially lose money for the year. They make most of their money, or at least profit, on the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Which is why we've seen Friday creep more and more and more into Thanksgiving and Thursday evening, which now Black Friday starts at 6 p.m. on Thursday.
You give it a couple years, and Black Friday is going to be the Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's going to be all 3 days.
Yeah.
Like they want to, essentially what it looks like to me is that they want Black Friday to take over Thanksgiving. Like, why would you, because it used to be you had Thanksgiving dinner. And, you got together at lunch, you had like a small lunch, you watched football all day, you had a dinner. You had Thanksgiving dinner. Now you can't have Thanksgiving dinner because everyone has to get ready to go shopping at 5 p.m. Everyone has to get ready to go shopping at 3 p.m. because you got to be in fucking line later than that if you want the fucking Samsung TV for $200.
Yeah. That originally goes for like $250 or $280. Like,
yeah, that's the other thing too. Every time I have been Black Friday shopping, I have never purchased anything for a markdown that was worth dealing with the crowd. Never. Not one single time have I ever been like, oh, this was worth it. Every time I go, and then I go the following week, and I'm like, I'm in Walmart, and I'm just like, I got that pillow for $5 last week. Now it's $6.25. That wasn't fucking worth it.
Well, okay, so your TV that you saved $80 on.
Those ticketed items, where you have to go and there's only 100 of them. And, like, I'm not talking about those.
No. That's not a ticketed item. Those ticketed items are probably worth it to somebody somewhere in someplace very special.
Yeah, those ticketed items are.
But, okay, a normal TV. Let's say they take, 30, 50, I don't know, what do they usually take off a TV that's not a ticketed item?
I think you were close. I think the actual TV was $300, and I think not on sale for Black Friday, it's $350.
Okay, so they took $50 off. And let's say they got the TVs lined up, all right?
Yeah.
Because I've seen them do this shit too. Now, the TV, they took $50 off of, but the TV stand is still the same price. The wall mount's still the same price.
The accessories.
All the bullshit's still the
same. And when I worked in sales, that was the thing. That was the thing that we were allowed to do. It was, okay, you can take money off of the big item if you add the accessories, because the accessory and you make money on the accessories.
Oh yeah.
Like, you make money on the big ticket item, but it's already fairly close to cost.
I had a video game shop.
I
had a video game shop. The consoles cost more for me to buy them than if I were to just buy them from literally anywhere else.
That's fucked up.
The video games, the markup was so low. That's why the video games are $60. That's why you see a big market for used stuff, because there's no way you'd actually be able to make it. And it floored me. I'd go to Wally World, get an Xbox 360 at the time. But if I, ordered one from, the place where you have to have a tax ID number, is an extra $20.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
What was the difference in games?
I think the new ones were like 50. Okay, so $60 game, 52, 53.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like, the markup was like nothing.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
That's fucked up that it's so close. Like, when like the cost for it to be made isn't I mean, the cost to go into the video game itself to actually be made, but the cost to make the disc.
Yeah.
And make the game on the disc, like.
Yeah, but there's like,
consumerism.
Yeah, consumerism. That's definitely the real enemy is consumerism.
And now we're into digital copies, so like, I don't want to hear you fucking companies complain about how much it costs to put something on a disc and put it in a case and put it out, because video games should be cheaper if I'm purchasing them on my Xbox, because your labor is less.
Yeah, and shipping costs is less.
Yeah, it saves them money, and we're still paying $60 for a video game. Like,
Well,
I mean,
you
there
are.
are deals. I'm not. I don't play video games anymore.
Oh, well, they are. I'm PC gamer. You got Steam, you got GOG, you got Epic, you got Origin, you got Uplay. I can get games 50. I think Green Man Gaming. I've never done business with them, but I hear they're pretty good. Humble Bundle's great. Yeah, I know like probably a bazillion different places I could buy PC games, no problem. So it keeps the market kind of competitive in the PC world.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how capitalism should work.
Yeah, I mean, it works out. Like, people buy used video games, but that's gonna go away the more people switch to digital. Like movies, like people switching to digital movies, and
Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the digital things.
Okay.
Let's talk about the digital games. Yes, we were going to talk about the war on Christmas. Now we're going to consoles.
All right.
This is so
game stuff.
Be thinking of the games and the consoles you want for Christmas.
This is surprise conversation for you.
Surprise. Surprise. So the consoles. There was a video I'd seen the other day where a dude had a PS3 account, and then he got a PS4, and they're like, hey, we noticed you had this game on PS3. There's now a PS4 edition. Would you like to download it on your PS4? He's like, sure.
Yeah.
Now, that I think is something that the PC world actually does follow. It doesn't matter if you had Steam, 10 years ago, and you had, a Windows 7. And now you got a new computer, now you got Windows 10. It doesn't matter what OS you run. You log into your Steam. You log into your Steam account, and your whatever games you have.
Right.
Now they're starting to curve that more towards the consoles, which makes it to where you don't have to buy the same game 18,000 times.
Yes. Yeah, and there are good and bad things as far as like digital downloads go. And I know PC has been ahead of the market as far as what's good for the consumer when video games are concerned.
Yeah.
But there's also going to be some fallout of how much we go digital. One of it is going to be those mom and pop shops, those little used shops.
Yeah.
Those are getting there's way less now than what there was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like already, like there used to be one on every fucking corner almost. Like you go to a larger city just across the way and you can find them there, but like in like our small town, like we don't have one.
Yeah.
Other small towns, they don't have them anymore. We had a couple try. We had one that was fairly successful for maybe a year or two when I was younger, but even then, like, it's a hard business, but at the same time, like, it's only going to get harder with these digital downloads.
Yeah. Well,
so there are good things. I do like just being able to hop on my Xbox and pull up whatever game and play it. I love not having to fuck with a disc. I use digital downloads, by the way. But
when you're a PC gamer, everything's digital download, like it or not.
Yeah. I do miss, oh shit, it's midnight. Fucking this game's coming out. It was usually Call of Duty. I do have a really great story for Skyrim. And when it came out, but I missed those. Like, it was almost like an adventure. You're like, oh, I got to go get the game. It's midnight. It's gonna be out at midnight. I got to go stand in line, go hang out with my friends for 2 hours, wait for the game to come out, go home, put the game in, play the game, and now you're just like sitting on your couch and you're just like, oh, cool, like it's out. I'm gonna hit download. I'm gonna play it in a couple hours. And then, like, you play it. So, like, it's not, the adventure is kind of, like, gone or lost for me.
Are you kidding me? A fucking new game comes out, I get an email saying, hey, this, X game's on your wish list. It came out today. I'm like, oh, great. And there's no discount? Oh, fuck that. Email me when it's on sale. That's a PC gamer. Holy fuck.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of games I buy when they come out. One I'm looking forward to is Cyberpunk. But I was also super looking forward to Borderlands 3, and I haven't even played it yet, so. You got anything else, Wolf, or you want to move on to Pornhub?
Yeah, speaking of shit that shouldn't offend anybody ever, let's talk about something we can all agree on, Pornhub.
All right, so Pornhub released some statistics that I thought was interesting. People more often than not look at Pornhub on their phone. 76.6% of Pornhub users are mobile users. Only 6.3% are desktop.
I think that goes through for every fucking website. To be quite honest.
I mean, yeah, it probably does. Traffic from Apple iOS devices grew 19% from 2018 to make up 52.8% of Pornhub's mobile traffic. So apparently Apple users are masturbating more. Android users brought in 46.6%.
They're probably on there for the articles. No, Android's probably on RedTube.
However, with traffic from desktop computers, Windows shut out Mac with 75.5%. Now, I'm going to say something here. If you have a Windows computer and you have a Mac computer, look at porn on your fucking Mac. So that way you have way less risk of having to deal with any, odd viruses you're going to get from it.
Why the hell would I look at it on my Mac when I can look at it on my iPhone?
That's also true. I use my iPhone. I mean, that's probably weird, but I
don't think I've ever been on Pornhub, so
here we go. Of course, mobile and desktop aren't the only ways people get off. Oops. Thanks, article. This article is brought to you by Fast Company. Traffic from PlayStation consoles took the top spot with 51.5%, followed by
Cyberpunk.
Followed by Xbox at 34.7%. There's a joke there, but I'm not going to make it. Conversely enough, Facebook and Instagram's March 13 outage caused a 19% spike in traffic, and the government shutdown in January bumped daily visits to Pornhub by 6.32%.
It's fucking great.
So those government officials finally got some time off to take care of themselves.
No, they probably fucking, oh shit, it runs a lot faster on not government servers.
All right, they also released the top 5 most searched movie and TV characters on Pornhub. You guys ready for this?
I don't know if it's going to be legit or fucking...
These numbers are legit.
All right.
Number 1, Avengers. Number 2, Harley Quinn. Number 3, Teen Titans. Number 4, this one's kind of weird. Number 4 is The Incredibles.
Have you ever watched that show?
Aren't they mostly children?
No, they got the parents. It's fine.
Yeah, there's the parents.
No.
But it's like a family thing. Although I don't know what is going on with porn as of late, but it's all like step siblings and it's fucking weird.
Well, yeah, Step Brothers came out and they're like, I wonder what some fucking John C. Reilly on fucking Will Ferrell action would look like.
Number 5 is Captain Marvel, and I'm sure Brie Larson is not happy about that.
Who the fuck's Brie Larson?
She plays Captain Marvel.
I thought that was that one shit. I thought it was Jen A.
Princess Buttercup?
Yeah.
No. What?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
It's Jen A.
She does not play Captain Marvel. Are you kidding me?
No.
She's like 50-something.
I know. Captain Marvel looks old.
Welp.
Brie Larson's
All
not
right.
happy about that.
Brie Larson doesn't listen to our podcast because we're a bunch of
Not
dudes.
anymore.
They did add in here that number 10 is the Joker. So that's interesting.
Which Joker, I wonder?
Animated series.
No, it'd probably be, you know how I got these scars? Have you seen that movie Teeth?
Oh, no.
All right. And then, so video games.
Is it like all Overwatch characters?
Overwatch edged out
Leisure
the
Suit Larry.
seemingly unstoppable Fortnite to take the number 1 spot in most searched video games. However, Barry, can you guess what the next spot is?
Outer Worlds?
Borderlands?
No.
3?
I have no idea.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Minecraft.
Number 2 is Zelda.
Oh.
Or no, number 3 is Zelda. So it's Overwatch, Fortnite, Zelda, and then Lara Croft. And then coming in at number 5, Super Mario.
What the fuck?
I mean, I would have been more surprised if it would have been Pokemon, because it would have been some
The classic plumber storyline.
interspecies erotica.
Yeah. Oh no.
I'm here to fix the plumbing. Oh!
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right, and that's what was most searched through Pornhub.
So are these like
throughout this
fucking
last year.
like storylines, or I don't know how the fuck this works.
Now I want to know if there's Wario porn. I'm gonna come. Oh no.
Oh no.
Wow.
It's like a trick. Mario like rips off Peach's outfit and he's like, "It's a me, a Mario." Wario's like, "No." All right. So we're done talking about that. You got anything else to add for this this week's episode, Wolf?
No, I mean it's pretty well fucking covered.
All right. We're gonna do some plugs. Not the same kind of plugs as Pornhub, but just like regular old standard plugs.
Like beads?
Like, no.
Like you're starting a lawnmower?
Uh-oh.
All right. You can find the company, Drafty Quarters Productions, on Twitter and Instagram at DraftyQ. YouTube, search us there for Drafty Quarters Podcast Network. Facebook, go like our Facebook page, Drafty Quarters Productions. You can become a patron on Patreon. Search Drafty Quarters Productions. We currently have 4 tiers. We have our $1 tier, which is going to host vaulted content. You're also going to get any interviews that we cut down to put in the actual Drafty After Dark podcast. Those are going to go up under our $1 vaulted tier content. We're going to have some monthly releases coming for you soon. One of those is going to be Smooth Squirrel Presents DQP Shoulda Does. That's going to be where Doug and Nathan watch 3 movies and then talk about them and relate them and probably make fun of me and Shane. We are holding off on the RPG podcast as we have started creating a system that we will use for that podcast. So give us a little bit more time on that, but that is coming soon. Weekly releases, which is our $10 tier, which is our 3rd tier. Monthly releases was our 2nd tier, if I didn't mention that. Our 3rd tier is going to be weekly releases, and we are currently posting DQPD Presents The Gospel of Winchester, where me and Shane can try to tell Nathan over and over again that Supernatural is good regardless of its faults.
Is it good after season 5?
You can tune in to The Gospel of Winchester for me to answer that question. The Crimson Ring, a no DQ watch-along, starts next month in January. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to queue up the match that they have watched, and you're going to watch it along with them. They're going to give you an alternate commentary stream. We're going to keep plugging Patreon until more of you motherfuckers sign up, so thank you.
I got a question.
Yes?
Does Bobby Singer know you raid his wardrobe?
What the fuck?
I thought I rated Dean's wardrobe, but
nope.
Maybe not.
You're
Okay.
fucking Bobby Singer's wardrobe,
Bobby
and you're lucky to
Singer's
be
wardrobe. I'm lucky. I don't know that lucky is the right word for
Shane
that.
at the door. He locked himself out when he took
Shane.
Steve out.
Shane is finally back. I was going to say, Shane's finally back from kicking Steve out.
Good.
Thanks, Shane. Welcome back to the studio.
Hey, welcome back, Shane.
All right. If there's anything in particular that you want to hear us talk about here on Drafty After Dark, please send us an email to draftyq@gmail.com. Or if you have any comments, concerns, or quarrels, also send those in. Anything else?
Yeah, I got nothing.
I thought you'd have maybe another snarky remark since you're an asshole today.
No.
All right. Well, we've hoped.
Oh, yeah, I'm the asshole. See how he's just a flex?
All right. Well, we hope you've enjoyed your drink. Have a good night.
The fuck is Steve doing back in here?